Guys, you know what time it is? It's April, and Stanley Cup playoffs are here. Washington Capitals, New York Rangers. The Rangers, as we know it, they have the President's Trophy. Um, Man, and it's been 30 years since they won the Stanley Cup, which they
Tulos.
also won the President's Trophy. So so man, they gonna start Sunday, game one at the Garden. So what do you think is going to happen in the series?
Um, I think that the Rangers they hold all the advantages in the series over the Capitals. I think the Rangers will win in 5 games. Um, the Rangers have a plus 53 advantage in scoring goals. Uh, Washington was minus 37. As long as the Rangers don't play bad defensively, bad goaltending, turnovers, they should win in 5 games, 5, 6 games the most. Anything other than that, I mean, you're playing with fire if you're going to go 7 games. But I think the Rangers have the ability and talent to win in 5 games.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny that the Rangers didn't even know who their opponent was until the last game of the regular season. So, and every time I think about Capitals and Rangers, I think about that 2015 series, um, which Stefan won in overtime in game
Right.
seven, which was a crushing loss for Washington, but I was super happy. But but the Rangers, they have all the pieces there. I do think that they should match Washington's physicality. You don't want to sleep on them, even though they're not the same team as they were years ago. But a team like Washington, they could be annoying in the postseason. So New York, they had to set the tone from the get-go.
So right. So with the physicality, so I was thinking about this. So that's why it was depending on Remke's playing and he's going to play. He's going to play in probably game one. So he's their big enforcer, as you know, for checker. And he'll match up against Tom Wilson, who all the Ranger fans know, and he's also their enforcer, if that's what you want to call him. But I wasn't sure. So if the Rangers would have played Detroit, I'm not sure Remke would have played in game, at least in game one. I think it went by the matchups, and like you said, we didn't know until what was it, Thursday night or Wednesday night, whenever we found out that they were playing the Capitals. Then I said to myself, "Oh yeah, Remke's just definitely going to play because of Tom Wilson." And of course, the Rangers also have Barkley Goodrow. K. Miller can also be physical. Trouba's physical, so they can match this in this playoff series, and I think you're going to see it. I don't think there's going to be all out brawls. I think that's silly in the playoffs because you can take the extra penalty. You don't want to be in the box. The Rangers want to be on the power play. They want to keep Washington off the power play. So they match up the physicality and fighting when they need to. But I think the Rangers will be fine in that aspect of the game in this series.
As we know, the postseason is a totally different new season. But Artemi
Yeah.
Panarin, the kind of season he's having, I mean, I feel that he's going to carry that momentum into the series against Washington. He's going to have to be big time because Zibanejad know what he can do. But Artemi Panarin, he definitely has to follow up what he did in the regular season into the postseason.
Right. So again, Panera he's been a much stronger on the puck this year, which led to more of him scoring, both scoring goals and getting assists. But I've noticed that from the last few years since the Rangers first got him, coming into this season and to play this season, he's definitely been much stronger on the puck because he's not a big player. So he relies on, you know, uh, getting the puck out, getting the puck getting the puck to his stick and kicking it around and not taking a big hit to lose the puck. So he's been much better this season. That's how I view him so far, and I think he will have a big playoff for the Rangers. I think he's determined to.
What do you think from the Rangers? Well, this is not a right or wrong question. It's just, what you think. What do you think, which player of the Rangers you think will surprise you in terms of how great they will perform this series? And which player do you think could be potential disappointment?
Okay, well that's who I think will surprise will play well. I think in this series, I think Lafreniere. is gonna play well for the Rangers this season. I think he feels much more comfortable. He almost scored 30 goals this year after a slow start. He didn't get off to a good start, and he really picked it up. On the other side of that, who I'm worried about, Kako, because there's some times where he looks like he's not in the game, or I'm not gonna say that. I shouldn't say that. It's just so he seems like he's having trouble scoring, and we expected more out of him being the second overall pick a few years back. So he could be the disappointment. Gustafson, the defenseman, I can also see as somebody who could be disappointing. Sometimes he gets it going good, but I also noticed that I observed that he on defense sometimes makes mistakes. So those are the two guys I think could have a disappointing series. And then I would hope not. I would hope that Shesterkin doesn't disappoint, because if he's not on his game, I don't know what the Rangers would do. So going back a couple of months ago, if you would have asked me who was going to be the starting goaltender, I would have said Jonathan Quick, because Shesterkin wasn't playing well. But he straightened out his game. He's been good. He's been good in the last couple of months of the season, the last few weeks.
Yeah, Igor Shesterkin is definitely the X factor for this team's success. So if he doesn't come through, then it's going to be a long series, because you're going to need his full potential, his full capacity to win the series.
Right.
Yeah. But man, it's just amazing to see the Rangers and to be the best team in hockey. I remember this team, they had a good title window from like 2012 to like 2015, 2016.
Right, yeah.
Then they went to the rebuild, and look where they are right now. I didn't expect them to make it as far as in terms of conference finals 2 years ago, which I hate. They lost to the Lightning again in the conference finals. Good. But they ran out of gas, I could say. Yeah, I could say that.
They did. That was the year they played all those games. Remember?
Yeah, because they went to 7 games against the Penguins, right. Then 7 against
the Hurricanes.
Who was it?
Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes. And then they were up 2-0 at Tampa, but then
it happened. That's why that's part of what the talk is too on the other, Sports Rangers preview on that. It's not good to go 7 games and then another 7 games and then 6 or 7 games. You're gonna be worn down. So we would like to dispatch the Capitals as quickly as possible. I mean, you could lose to the Capitals, which would be a disaster. But again, we don't want to be playing 7-game series and physicality, because it'll just wear you down. In my opinion.
Yeah. So Capitals Rangers game 1 Sunday. We can't wait to see that, man. That's it. Playoffs is here, so it's time to get the ball rolling and set the tone from the get-go.
The Rangers should, like I said earlier, the Rangers are one of the top power play teams. They're one of the top power play kill teams. As long as, what worries me is the Rangers 5-on-5 scoring isn't. They're in the middle of the pack. I think they finished this year somewhere. I want to say 12th, so anywhere in that maybe 10th or 12th. They finish in 5-on-5 scoring, even strength. So that's the only thing that concerns me, because if, as I mentioned to you when those games were going on, the Rangers went for a few games where they only scored power play goals. It took them, I want to say, 8.5 periods before they scored an even strength goal, and it was 4-on-4 before they scored a couple of goals and got back to normal. But I've noticed that sometimes they struggle 5-on-5, scoring wise anyway.